Hello everyone, my name is Abdullah Saif. I'm doing my master degree in business administrative in University of Cyberjaya, and now I'm pursuing my research in accounting field, which I will present for you today. My topic is the effect of having accounting knowledge on startup in Klang Valley, Malaysia. The outline of this presentation gonna be introduction, research problem, lecture review, which gonna include accounting theory, conceptual framework, hypothesis development, review of the variables. Also going to continue with the methodology, which is based on recommendation for further continuation, ending by a conclusion. Nowadays, the number of entrepreneurs has been increased in all areas, where there are many professionals in IT, medical, artists, engineering, and other fields who started their own business or willing to start their own business. The main profession of these entrepreneurs is what they are educated for, but their profession won't be enough to start a business. Where we think that they should have other skills and knowledge such as accounting. Accounting aim is to provide an overall view of a business for entrepreneurs, where the accounting studies teach students about the business big picture rather than focusing on producing professional accountants. Entrepreneurs could make better decisions for their businesses by using accounting analysis tool where they should have an appropriate accounting knowledge to know how to use them wisely and avoid taking bad decisions that might affect the businesses financially. The research problem in this is for startups who doesn't have accounting knowledge. The aim is to find out whether there is positive or negative effects of having accounting knowledge on startups. The accounting theory have been used in the lecture review. It's frequently used as indicator that refer to accounting principles that are relevant to the current accounting practices. Even though accounting theories have been developed, but none of these theories have been explained accounting theory comprehensively. So currently there is no comprehensive accounting theory. Accounting theory have been divided into two types, which are numerative accounting theory and positive accounting theory. Numerative accounting theory provides formula for accountants, which is used in accounting practices, while the positive accounting theory focus on explaining and predicting any accounting-related events. The conceptual framework, as it's shown, it has one dependent variable, startup success, and also three independent variables, which are basic accounting knowledge, cash management knowledge, and short-term financing knowledge. The independent variables represent the accounting knowledge that startups have, which is, in this research, it has a direct effect to the dependent variable, which is startup success. From the previous conceptual framework, the hypotheses developed are, the first one is that there is a positive significant impact of having basic accounting knowledge on startup success. The second one is that there is a positive significant impact of having cash management knowledge on startup success. And the last one is that there is a positive significant impact of having short-term financing knowledge on the startup success. The reviewing of the variables, the first variable is startup success, which is the dependent variable. The startup success is the goal of all entrepreneurs and startups, which they start their business for the purpose of making profit or increasing their wealth. A successful startup has a wide range definition. The classic one is determining and analyzing the entrepreneur's profit. Identifying the startup success could be difficult because of its relativity to the entrepreneur's goal and whether it's financially or non-financially. A startup success has been defined as performance measurement, which happen when a business creates value to its customer in a sustainable and cost-effective way. Startup financial goal is the most accurate indicator for the success of startup, where the financial goal could be higher revenue or even though higher net profit. The financial performance is the measurement of the startup success, which differentiates between the success and survival. Survival refers to a business ability to continue its operation as a financially self-sustaining business, where it's considered as the lowest criteria of any business success. The second variable, which is the first independent variable, is the basic accounting knowledge. It includes a set of knowledge about how to record, classify, summarize financial transaction in an efficient way where the results are processed to produce financial information and financial statement. And one of the most important financial statement is the statement of financial position, which describe the business financial status, where it could be summarized in equation, which is assets equal liability and equity. Any business has some tangible or intangible resources. This is called assets, where it came from two party, which the right of creditors and the right of owners. Right of creditors refer to the obligation that the business has to pay, and it's also called liability. And also the right of owners, which is the money have been put by the business owner in the business, which is also equal called equity. Understanding the statement financial position is advice that entrepreneurs and startup success having this knowledge of understanding this statement. It's ensure that their businesses are running smoothly and making progress, which also represent the result of the business operation. It also help entrepreneurs and startup to evaluate and monitor their business's operation, and it will assist them in making better decision. Also, bookkeeping is one of the basic accounting knowledge, which is a must for accounting to know. It's defined as the way of documenting all the business transaction for the purpose of creating a collection of the business accounting reports. Bookkeeping contains the business records of revenue and expenses to be as a reference in the future when the documents are needed. Bookkeeping is an important accounting practice that businesses need to keep accurate record of the business, which would be used to monitor and evaluate the business financial performance. The second independent variable is the cash management knowledge. It's defined as the process of collection and disbursements the cash to manage the business cash balance in a way that maximizes the cash availability whenever needed to avoid the risk of bankruptcy. However, an efficient cash management is important for the reason of the limited resources that entrepreneurs have and startup, where the poor management over the cash could cause a failure to meet the obligation payment on time. Cash is an important element for the business's working capital, as it has been likened as the engine of any business, where the availability of the cash could determine the likelihood of the business to survive or shut down its operation, which has been considered as the basic element of making a business going concern. Finding from a previous research showing that cash management affects the business profitability. Also, studies has indicated that profitability has a positive relationship with the cash and finance management performance. Also, finding from previous research showed that there is a positive influence of the cash management practices on the growth of the small and medium enterprises. Also in Nigeria, a study performed resulting in having positive influence of on the business performance by the cash management practices. Also in Kenya, a study performed stated that cash holding practice and the use of technology in cash management had a relevant effects of financial performance of small and medium enterprises. Also in Jordan, a study performed stated that cash management practices have an influence on the financial performance of small and medium enterprises. While on the other hand, a result from a research that measured the effects of cash management on business financial performance showed that cash management has an insignificant effects of on the financial performance. The last independent variable is the short-term financing knowledge. It's referred to some facilitations that businesses trying to get benefits from creditors facilitation, which is a way that speed up the financial performance of a business and its growth, where many of small and medium enterprises use it, and it could be done by getting money from creditors such as bank or any other finance institution, where they are required to pay back the borrowed money in short time. The main problem that small business faces is the liquidity required for the business operation, which is a result from the shortage of the funding that small businesses and startups have, where most of them use the advantage of the short-term financing tools offered by the creditor or any finance institution. Line of credit is one of the short-term financing facilitations, which is called also overdraft facilities, where businesses can get approval from a creditor or any financial institution to withdraw money whenever they want, up to the approval limit, and they can pay it back when they are able to. The interest will be charged on the utilized amount for the period of the time that the business took money for. Business in Nairobi country have been studied for the effects of bank facilities, including the bank overdraft, where the fundings result in a positive impact of the financial facilities on the business performance. Also, a study performed in Vietnam to examine the productivity of small businesses when they have the access to bank loan and overdraft facility, where the result showed that small business productivity increased when they accessed the overdraft facility by the bank. Also, trade credit is another short-term finance facility provided by a supplier, where they give the businesses a specific time to pay their purchase invoice. A recent study aimed to examine the impact of the trade credit on the profitability of a small and medium enterprise in the Republic of Croatia. The result came out that using the trade credit that suppliers offer increase the profitability of a business. Also, a study performed in Saudi Arabia showed that there is a strong positive significant impact of trade credit on business profitability, where it depends on an effective trade credit management. On the other hand, also, a study showed that short-term finance has a negative effect on the finance performance of small and medium businesses. Also, a study in Sweden showed that trade credit and short-term financing affect negatively the performance of small and medium enterprises. Now, for the methodology, it's based on a recommendation for the further continuation. The suggested research method is a quantitative method for gathering the required data from the targeted respondent within the area of Klang Valley, including the three states, Simo, Kuala Lumpur, and Cyberjaya. It's to identify the relationship between the variables of the accounting knowledge and startup success. The type of the data advised to be primary data, which are taken directly from the participants of the research. The data will have a certain level of accuracy when it's being a number. The number of individuals who have businesses in the given area is unknown, where the population include anyone on a business without the consideration of the business registration status. And due to the unknown number of the population, which could be too large, the simple random sampling technique is the most appropriate technique, where this type of sampling technique ensures that each member of the population has an equal chance of being included in the research sampling to participate in the research questionnaire. For the determination of the sample size, is advised to follow the formula of unknown population, which is shown n equals z squared multiplied by b multiplied by 1 minus b over d squared, where n equal which is n sample size, z the confidence level, and b is expected proportion, and marginal error for d. The suggested confidence level is 95, so z is 1.96 from the table. The expected proportion is 0.5 and marginal error is 0.06. By applying this number, the expected sample size from the population in this research will be 267 respondents. In conclusion, accounting knowledge has been allocated for the business study only, where other study didn't give much of attention to accounting knowledge. This paper has addressed the problem for startup not having the accounting knowledge, where the aim is to find whether there is positive or negative effects of having accounting knowledge on the startup. For the further continuation, it's advised to use quantitative research method by questionnaire using the simple random sampling technique with the sample size of 267. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoy my presentation.